That's right. Let me see. Yep, I think yeah, boy. Hello, and this is Dylan Lang. I'm here for a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, a little bit earlier than normal because it's a different day. My son is at his friend's house and they're having a sleepover. So normally I would be helping, take care of his stuff while he was taking a shower, so like that. And then once he goes to bed, then I would do my show around 11 o'clock. So I'm here about 2 hours early. Actually, only an hour early. Actually, it's 9:51. Wow. I've been watching 2 episodes of Community with my wife and daughter. That's what they're doing right now. But I figured I'd get this done early because I am tired. It's been a really long week. We're not going to talk about the main story of the week because I already did in a episode of Conversation with Myself. So I'm not going to talk about the elephant in the room. I will mention it. All I have to say is I'm unhappy with the election results. I think it was rigged, and you all have no idea what's coming your way. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I did a whole almost hour plus episode about my feelings on it in more detail. Surprisingly, it has between 19 and 30 views. I have to verify how many it actually is, but there it is. But don't know if I'm ever going to post it, so you might only be able to see it here on this channel. But again, that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to try to keep Dylan Knows during the next 4 torturous years that we're going to be going through as a beacon of light where we're not going to talk about that stuff. I can use my real feeling stuff for other shows I'm doing, but this one will remain a more pop culture week to week sort of stuff going on about what's happening. This week, though, because the election was so overwhelming, I usually do about 4 pages of it. I only have about 3, and it's handwritten because I did it at work. I finished my project at work. I had plenty of time to kill, so I didn't want to start anything else that day. So I did my research on Friday, caught up on anything that I missed today to add to it, and did one last sweep before I came on here. And I think I've covered everything I need to. Just double checking. Yep. So, yep. So I lucked out also tomorrow. I don't have to worry about football because the Ravens played yesterday. Actually, I should say Thursday since today is Saturday. Played on Thursday night against the Bengals in a nail biter, but they end up winning 35-34 in a tight one. So the Ravens do not play again until the 17th, which is next Sunday. So I'll be actually doing 2 episodes of Dylan Knows before the next Ravens game. So that's kind of interesting. So what's going on? So we have Veterans Day is on Monday. Pepper, my big black kitty who's upstairs with his mom and sister right now, will be turning 1 on Wednesday, which is pretty cool. And then my wife and daughter are going camping next weekend, so it'll just be my son and I. So that's what we got going on. So I also start my next big project at work. This is going on. So we got other stuff happening, but again, I'm not going to deal with that right now. So, because of the events of this week, and because one of the conspirators about this election owns Twitter, I've decided that I'm going to keep my Twitter up and I'll check on it periodically and look up. I'm going to stick more to Threads and Blue Sky, which I joined on Wednesday after that disastrous day we're not going to talk about. And I found that I like Blue Sky. To me is more of just sort of a gathering of people just chilling out and hanging out and supporting each other, and pictures of kitties and doggies and bunnies and squirrels and beautiful views and scenery and stuff like that. And then just people being good to each other and nice to each other. And if any dicks come in, you can just block them completely. There's no advertisements on it so far. Obviously, things could change over the next couple of years, but right now it's a safe haven. And Threads is just an offshoot. It's a combination of Facebook and Instagram because it's run by the same people. So I'm not excited about that, but it's again, you can block stuff out, and I've got a lot of interesting views and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm just been following that, but I've noticed that my social media looking at has diminished a lot That's nothing to do with why my show is going to be short this week. It's just because not a lot was going on besides the election. But stuff did go on. But yeah, so Veterans Day, I talked about that. No one has off for Veterans Day. Schools are going to be open. My work never closes for stuff like that. The federal government may be closed because I think it is a federal holiday. So that means Monday might be a good day for traffic. But other than that, I have veterans in my family, so I will wish them happy Veterans Day. But Veterans Day really doesn't mean all that much really anymore, considering you have a soon-to-be incoming president who gives a rat's ass about veterans, could care less about them, calls them losers, and tromps around on sacred ground and doesn't apologize for it and cuts funding for the VA hospital, stuff like that. And yet a lot of those people said, he's still my guy, so fuck them. Again, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm not saying fuck all veterans, because not all veterans, like there are a bunch of veterans that are like, fuck that, convicted felon. And I personally think veterans should be treated a whole lot better than they are. And that's just, we're all going to end right there again. So Under Armour, which is local around here, I don't know, it's been about 5-6 years now. It's been a while. It might be longer than that. They bought a plot of land in Baltimore called the Baltimore Peninsula, and they're turning it into like Under Armour land. So what they're doing is they were building their new factory there, the new national headquarters. So they've been building that for a while now, and then they've built a community around it of people who work at Under Armour, so that they can all be in the same sort of campus. But it's got its nice houses, and it's got grocery stores and fast food joints and stuff like that, and it's all in the shadow of the Under Armour factory and national offices. The global headquarters is actually opening now in that area next week. So it is, I think, the Baltimore Peninsula Under Armour land. Once that moves in, it will be complete. So I've never actually driven by it. I think I might have once, might have seen it, but it is a sight to see. So it's interesting to see that is finally, after hearing so much about it, is moving right along. Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone time is coming up here. So that's pretty cool. But he is still acting. He still does some stuff periodically. He has joined Fallout Season 2, which is, I think, getting ready to film or is presently filming right now. I think it's presently filming, to be honest. So Macaulay Culkin has joined the cast in a role that has not been determined yet, so we won't know until we start seeing more info about it, but that's pretty cool to see him, hopefully in a regular job and not just as a one-off whatever. Will be interesting to see that. Some casting news. Judy Greer, Sean Astin, Bryan Cranston, and John Goodman are set to star in the dark comedy Chili Finger. I think it has to do with about a guy who finds a finger in his chili, which is it's called Chili Finger. It's why it's called dark comedy also. So don't know much else about it, but it's a decent cast. So better watch out for that. Damian Lewis, Tom Felton, and Ben Radcliffe have joined the comedy spoof Fackham Hall. So don't know what that's about, but it's hopefully Tom Felton will not be typecast as a bad guy, because I would love to see him play a good guy, because he's actually a good guy in real life, but he's always cast as a bad guy. So it'd be kind of interesting to see him as a good guy. But to be fair, Jason Isaacs, who plays his dad, and the two of them have a great father-son relationship, even though they're not really father and son. They played father and son, but they aren't. Has always been sort of that way also. Has always plays like typecast as a bad guy, but is one of the sweetest, nicest guys in the world. The greatest thing, the greatest video I've ever seen is a blooper from Chamber of Secrets, when Lucius Malfoy was first introduced, who Jason Isaacs plays. And the blooper is he's walking up to Daniel Radcliffe as Harry and like pokes him with a stick or something and says his line, and then he's like, "Oh, sorry, love," because he hit him too hard and they had to stop. But he was like, "Potter, oh, sorry, love, I didn't mean to hit you that hard." It was just one of the coolest, funniest things ever to see that. Now, I heard about this movie a while back, and then I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the show when I first heard about it. So when I saw the trailer pop this week and that it's not going into movie theaters, it's actually going to go directly to Paramount Plus, I was like, okay, we'll see about this. And it's definitely something interesting. Tis the season, unfortunately. I always believe that Christmas should not really start being up at the forefront until after Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is still technically a holiday, and we're still here to celebrate that. But Christmas has moved up recently in days, and so it's not surprising that we have a trailer for movie. Technically, though, is airing 3 days before Thanksgiving, or opening 3 days before Thanksgiving, so it's still okay. But regardless, it's called Dear Santa, and it stars Jack Black, and it's directed by the Farrelly brothers, who did Dumb and Dumber. There's Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, stuff like that. And the premise is actually real quick, set to debut 11/25 on Paramount Plus. So Dear Santa is actually about Satan, played by Jack Black, who, a dyslexic child, writes a letter to Santa Claus and wrote Dear Satan instead of Santa. So the message goes to Satan, who reads it and decides to grant this child his wishes that he wants for Christmas, as long as he sells his soul. But this kid, though, is one of the sweetest, nicest kids in the world, and he and Satan start to bond, and he had to figure out if he's going to actually take his soul. It looks really, really cute, to be honest, and funny. To see Jack Black playing Satan is really funny, but it does just seem to have that sort of goofy Farrelly Brothers sort of flavor to it. So if you like that kind of stuff, that'd be kind of. But the trailer's still interesting, and I don't have Paramount Plus, so I'm not going to be able to see it. And honestly, I probably wouldn't go, you know what, I think I'm going to go out of my way to see it. I probably wouldn't have seen it, even if I had Paramount Plus, I probably might have checked it out, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go, I got to get it to see it. Excuse me. Speaking of other streaming stuff, Alien Romulus is set to debut on Hulu on November 21st. Didn't see Alien Romulus, and I don't have Hulu either, so I'm not going to go out of my way to see that either. But it's good to see that will be coming to streaming, so people can watch that soon. And as I said last week, Deadpool Wolverine is set to debut this week on Tuesday, I believe the 12th of November. So Deadpool Wolverine will be on Disney Plus on Tuesday. This is kind of odd. Disney has announced a deal with Simon Kinberg to write and I guess maybe direct a new Star Wars trilogy set in the Skywalker land. So it would be after the Rise of Skywalker. And I'm not sure how that's going to work or how they're going to do it, because Rey's story is going to be done in a completely different movie. So they can't really combine the two. It's supposed to be two separate projects. So it's supposed to take place after Rise of Skywalker. So we'll have to wait and see if that indeed is the case. So we'll have to wait and see if that actually comes to fruition, because there's a ton of Star Wars stuff that has been announced that not necessarily may be debuting. Now, this movie has been getting a lot of trouble lately, too. Mickey 17 with his Bong. I wrote this down somewhere. Where is that? I think it was in Facebook. No, was it in Threads or Blue Sky? Maybe in Blue Sky. No, what Blue Sky? Bong Joon. Let me just check this. I'm not sure what it is. Snowpiercer. I just want to get his name right. Bong Joon-ho. It's his next film called Mickey 17, which is set to star Robert Pattinson, about clones that are used, and once they're used for dangerous things. Once they die, a new one takes its place. But one of them gets a soul or whatever and does not want to die and get replaced, and then the next one has to try to come and replace him. So it was set to debut in December, I think November, December. It was set to debut this year. Then they moved it to January, and now they're moving it to April April 18th, 2025. So I don't exactly know what's going on with that, but and it's not going to be available for the Academy Awards this year. It'll be next year's stuff. So we'll see what happens. Biggest rumor right now is Agent Venom is going to be one of the next Sony films. The Venom trilogy sort of ended on a note where they completed the trilogy, so Agent Venom would be something a little bit different. And it's rumored that is going to be so they can continue the Venom storyline, but maybe without Tom Hardy. They can create a new sort of thing and call it Agent Venom. So we'll see if that actually works out. All right. Kit Kat is set to debut the Super Mario Brothers Wonder bar, which is just sort of a similar Kit Kat bar with the Super Mario Brothers Wonder logo on it. So I figured it's not that much difference, but I figured you might, if you're interested in Mario or like that type of stuff, it might pop up and you might see that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. At least 43 primates are on the loose in South Carolina after they escaped from a research lab. That's crazy to think that they were able to do that. And I hope everyone is safe and they're safe and they might be able to escape and not get back to the facility. But it's a story that's continuing, so we'll find out if they have captured any of them down the line. Dirty Angels trailer with Ava Green and Ruby Rose. It's an action film. I didn't watch it because it really didn't interest me, but fans who want to see kind of hot women, kick ass and shoot stuff. I mean, it just didn't interest me in I don't know the actors that well, but it's intriguing, I suppose. Camila Mendez is set to play Tila in the live-action Masters of the Universe film. So that's the next casting that was announced. TGI Fridays is the next restaurant chain to file for bankruptcy. Red Lobster was the last one, and they have a new management in place now who are trying to build it back up from the ground up after their bankruptcy. So we'll see if they actually are able to do that. I haven't seen any new Red Lobsters pop up yet, but they said they are trying their best to get back into line. So maybe we'll see a couple open up next year and see if TGI Fridays can do the same thing. Twizzlers Mary Berry Bunch is the new holiday Twizzlers. Don't know what the flavor is, but it is a holiday berry. So there you go. Stranger Things Day was this past week, November 6th, I believe. And it's called that because the first episode, that was when Will was kidnapped and has started the whole series off. And to celebrate it, Stranger Things was going to release a trailer, and everybody's like, all right, we're going to see some footage from it. No, you're not. You're going to see the episode names, and they're actually kind of intriguing, actually. Let's see if I can find the episode names. Remember last week I said that someone said that each episode is going to be about 2 hours long, so it's basically going to be like 9 movies. So we'll see if that actually happens. So let's see. Has 8 episodes. The episode titles are The Crawl, The Vanishing of Blank. You couldn't see who it was, so that's a spoiler. The Turnbow Trap, Sorcerer, Shock Jock, Escape from Kamazats, The Bridge, and The Right Side Up. So some intriguing names for the episodes, and the fact that we don't know who's disappearing, and they are blocking it out, so we don't know who it is. So we don't. It's a spoiler, so we'll see it when it comes out. So kind of disappointing that was what the big deal was on Stranger Things Day, and not a full-length trailer. But that was just assumed that we'll probably see the full-length trailer sometime next year. They also, in this trailer, they announced that it will be coming out in 2025. No date, but it is official. It will be out in 2025. So it adds I mean, we knew it was already coming out in 2025, but that just adds to the amount of great genre shows which will be coming out in 2025. All of which should probably due to the fact of the of COVID and the writers and the actor strikes and stuff like that cause backups. But once things got moving, things sort of just got developed and were starting to move, and so they just want to release the stuff as soon as possible so they can, make some money off of it and not keep people angry that it take 5-6 years for a second season to come out for something. So, good on that. In the real world, Dubai is working on an underwater train, and I'm not exactly sure how that would work. Have a train run underwater unless you put it in a pipe and like a tunnel, but you can see the water on the outside, because I don't think you can actually run a physical train underwater without any protection around it. They're working on it, so we'll see what happens. Deaths this week. Kazuo Umeza, who is manga's original horror icon, died at the age of 88. Elwood Edwards, the voice of AOL's You've Got Mail, passed away this week as well. Dan Bossler, a Washington Redskins fullback, passed away this week. And Ben, the Michigan helper dog, who was a member of the Michigan college football team, he passed away this week as well. Anniversaries. They Live 36 years ago this week. Very astute about what's right about to come down the pipeline in 2025. If you want to see what might be coming, check out They Live. Elf, 21 years ago this week. Starship Trooper, 27 years ago this week. And Interstellar, one of my favorite movies of all time, debuted 10 years ago this week. We did get the first poster for the Interstellar 10th anniversary IMAX release, which is set for next month. So we got the first poster for that as well. And that's the first page. Page 2. Matthew Lillard thinks that the Scream movies have gotten too violent. He believes that in the last one, I think the Ghostface went around with a machine gun and started shooting people and stuff like that. He says he shouldn't be doing that. And a lot of people agree with him. He should not be doing firearms and stuff like that. Grinch Donuts at Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme keeps doing these cool holiday sort of, or things like they do a really good job of doing these, but it's really hard to get them because I think you have to order them ahead of time in the dozen lots, and there's only the one Krispy Kreme up the road, and it's a hike up the road for me, so it's not nearby, so don't get them. But these look pretty interesting, Grinch Donuts. The trading deadline passed for the NFL early this week, I think on Tuesday, and maybe Monday. It was Tuesday, I think. And the Ravens picked up a former Pro Bowl cornerback by the name of Tre'Davious White. He's past his prime right now and is currently injured, I think, or isn't currently injured, has an injury history. But he's going to be good for depth, and he is a veteran, and he does have experience in the postseason and stuff like that. So, and I think he was in the Super Bowl also, so that's good about that. But they did not pick up a pass rusher like I thought we needed, but they did not. And the Washington Commanders got Pro Bowl pass rusher Marshawn Lattimore, which is a great pickup for them. He will not be playing against the Steelers tomorrow, but it was a good pickup for them. Glenn Powell, one of my new favorite actors. He's currently starting to film the Running Man remake with Edgar Wright, and we get our first look at him. Nothing really major exciting to look at, but it's just Glenn Powell in his regular costume walking down the street, looking like someone's following him. Even when I did it before. Oh, okay. Lucy Hale to face an evil entity in Antarctica in the movie White Mars. That's a neat idea for a movie. Antarctica has barely gotten in anything, any movie relations, any movie set there. Frostbite. That I forget what it was. There was one or two that was made for her, but Kate Beckinsale's movie. I want to say it's Frostbite, based on the comic book. I gotta. See all of her films here. More Whiteout, that's what it was. Which should have been a much bigger movie. It's based on a comic book, had a sequel done to it, and it'd been neat to see a series set in Antarctica. So now we're getting a horror film set in Antarctica, which is kind of cool. Tom Holland and Austin Butler are set to star in American Speed, about race car driver brothers who decide that they want to become thieves. Guess they're trying to do their own Fast and Furious series. Daniel Craig hopes that Netflix puts Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knives Out movie, in theaters longer than a week. And I have to agree with him, because when the last one came out, I forget the name of it right now because my mind just doesn't work right now. But the second Knives Out movie, they released it for maybe a week, or it was a few days. I think it was about a week, and then they put it on Netflix, and it made a shit ton of money. I mean, not like a huge amount, but for a week, just for coming out for 1 week, and not a lot was known about it. It made a lot of money. Had a decent opening for a week. It was like $26 million for just a 1 week show, and then they got rid of it. So I think if Daniel Craig decides to, not Daniel Craig, Netflix is putting it back out in theaters, I agree with Daniel Craig. I think it should go for a regular theatrical run before it lands on Netflix. So what you do is you set a date for when it's supposed to show up on Netflix, and then have it run in movie theaters for like a month beforehand. And then literally, like, once, the month is up, you drop it on Netflix. So that's what I would do. But it'll probably make you some good money too. Waltzing with Brando, the Billy Zane film. We got some behind the scenes pictures of him where he's really going all in on the Marlon Brando thing. The movie is going to debut at the Torino Film Festival. This is one movie I'm actually kind of excited to look at, and I think is going to be really good for Billy Zane's career. He's just sort of been around, but hasn't really done anything major. This could be a major one. This could be Academy Award winning if it's done properly. He looks like fucking Brando in this movie, man. I was looking at the behind the scenes pictures, and it looks amazing. And it's going to be getting a film festival release, and probably a bigger, wider release. And I might have to check it out, because I think it'd be fantastic. It'd be great for Billy Zane to have like a massive hit and a critical acclaim, and to sort of get back into the spotlight as a star. So good luck to you. It looks good, man. I just hope it turns out to be that way. Josh Gad, he might just be doing this to pat himself on the back, or it could also be true. It could be both, a combination of both. But Josh Gad says everyone who has read his Spaceballs 2 script has absolutely loved it and been blown away by it. Again, it could just be him trying to make himself look bigger or whatever, but it could also be 100% true as well. So only way to find out is to get it made. So hopefully we'll get it made sooner than later. Hopefully Mel Brooks can make it before he passes away. And then hopefully it'll just be pretty good. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are set to re-team with Sean Levy in a new film that'll have nothing to do with Marvel Comics. It's going to be just a typical film. Who knows what it's going to be about, but it's not going to be part of any comic book universe. It's going to be Ryan Reynolds working with Hugh Jackman, directed by Sean Levy again, and Reynolds is currently writing it. So We expect him probably to have a finished script probably by the end of the year, probably. And then Levy's finishing up his stuff on Stranger Things. Once that gets done, it might very well be his next film. I don't know if he's set up anything else afterwards, but it might very well be his next film. And that'd be fun because Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman had really good chemistry. And to see them in something that isn't Marvel related could be kind of interesting, depending on what the story is about. Heart Eyes, Valentine's Day finally gets another slasher film. This is called Heart Eyes. It's set to debut, I believe, next year. I don't think there was a trailer. Maybe it was a trailer. It might have been a trailer. I don't remember. But it is a Valentine's Day slasher film with a new Valentine's Day slasher. So could be interesting to see that. In baseball news, the A's, the Athletics, are officially have taken the name of Oakland off of their and their name and logo from Oakland off of all their equipment and stuff like that. So they are just known as the A's right now. Their whole Vegas thing is starting to think about might fall through, but we'll see about that because they're supposed to be playing in Sacramento for at least 2 more years while they're supposedly building the new Vegas stadium. But the problem is there's been some issues with the money for the new Vegas baseball stadium. So that's to be continued. But as of now, the Oakland Athletics have finally ceased to exist, and they're now just the A's. Oh, the Quirky building, Qatar building. I don't know. I think it might be Qatar. There's a building in one of these countries that has now become the world's largest building, shaped like a chicken. It looks like a chicken, but is an officially acting and working office building. So it is now officially the biggest one. The Black Phone 2 has begun filming. No one has really released anything details about the script yet. Derrickson, who directs it, is not one that directs sequels all that much, but he said the script that he got was just outstanding and had to go on with it. Speaking of horror, continuing with the horror theme, Kevin Bacon and his wife Kira Sedgwick are set to star in the horror film Family Movie. And that horror film, the 2 of them starring in it, is also supposed to be starring their 2 children, or 3 children, excuse me, their 3 children to star in it as well. So it's going to be a big family affair in the horror movie called Family Movie. So to be continued. Hurry Up Tomorrow, Jenna Ortega, Barry Keoghan, produced by The Weeknd, the musician, is starting up here. No trailer, just a new startup for this. Dark Wind gets a season 3, releasing in 2025. So another one like that. That is based on those Native American police procedural books. I've read a couple of them. So I get his name, Skin. Tony Hillerman, that's what it was. Yeah, Tony Hillerman. So yeah, the series is based on. It's called Dark Winds, but it's based on a lot of his. So every season sort of adapts 1 or 2 of his films that are books that they sort of stuff together into expanding into one season. So it has been renewed for a 3rd season, set to debut in 2025, with everything else that's coming out in 2025. This kind of sucks. Robert Zemeckis has said for years that he is never going to allow a sequel to be made to Back to the Future, like Back to the Future 4, and also no remake or whatever is ever going to be made of Back to the Future. And Universal seems to back him up on that. However, Universal may have taken it a little too far when Robert Zemeckis announced that he would like to direct the movie version of the Back to the Future musical. But Universal's like, nah, we're good, which would be kind of stupid. I think it'd be great to see Robert Zemeckis directing a musical, because I don't think he ever has. And it being based on his movie makes it a slam dunk. And the only thing I could think of is that they don't want to confuse people or whatever. But I think it would absolutely be perfect for Robert Zemeckis to do a musical, which I don't think he's ever has done, to film it. And why not film the one based on his movie? Who else are you going to get to do it? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and hopefully maybe they can work out their deals. But I would love to see a Robert Zemeckis' directed version of the musical Back to the Future. I think it would be fantastic. Jason Bateman and David Harbour are set to star in HBO's new TV series, DTF St. Louis. It's a 7-episode limited series. Don't know much about what it is, but the two of them will be in it. I got to get this name of this. Something's getting a season 2. Oh, Gen V. Gen V, the Boys spinoff, who lost that one actor earlier this year, has finished filming of their second season. So you'll probably be seeing that probably next year also. Just add that to the list of all the stuff coming to streaming next year. It's crazy. A lot of anniversaries and a lot of big deaths. We'll do the big deaths first. First big death this week is Quincy Jones, the producer who produced Michael Jackson's Thriller. He's also damn good musician on his own, making a ton of songs, as well as producing other musical numbers. And also, I think he was a producer on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and a few other things as well. So he had his hands full. His daughter is Rashida Jones, who's in Parks and Rec and The Office and the voice role in Klaus. And his wife was Peggy Lipton, who was on Twin Peaks. They're divorced. They were divorced. And Rashida Jones is their daughter, Peggy Lipton and Quincy Jones's daughter. So that's kind of interesting to see that. So Quincy Jones passed away this week. Jonathan Hayes, A Little Shop of Horrors, the new version star, died at the age of 95. Tyka Nelson, Prince's sister, died at the age of 64 this week. Anniversaries, The Matrix Revolutions debuted 21 years ago this week. Doctor Strange debuted 8 years ago this week. Man, it's only been 8 years. Wow. Hacksaw Ridge also debuted 8 years ago this week. And the big day, actually, we'll get there in a second. Carrie debuted 48 years ago this week. And Godzilla Day, November 3rd, is officially Godzilla Day. That was when Gojira came out in 1954. The 70th anniversary of Godzilla has come and gone. So, yeah, this is only be about 45 minutes long. So that's pretty cool. We just need something short and sweet. All right, Lily Gladstone and Bryan Cranston are set to star in a thriller called Lone Wolf. I talked about Alien Romulus coming to Hulu. Well, a sequel obviously is now in the works, so we'll see if that actually happens. Dexter Origins with Sarah Michelle Gellar is set to debut in December on Paramount Plus, so it's actually coming quicker than I thought it was going to. My wife and daughter are watching Community right now. Alison Brie from Community is set to play Tila in the Masters of the Universe live action series. The Eyes of the Eyes of Wakanda cartoon is set to debut August 6th on Disney Plus of next year. Paul W.S. Anderson is set to direct a House of the Dead film. I thought he already directed one, but I guess he's not. This will be my last story. Behind the scenes shot of Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in the movie The Drama. And speaking of Zendaya, Christopher Nolan's got a little movie that he's casting presently right now. He's already cast Matt Damon and Tom Holland. So why not cast Zendaya as well, which he did. So Zendaya will be in the new Christopher Nolan film. And Christopher Nolan has also cast one of my absolute favorites in a lot of different ways. And one of his favorites, the third time they're working together, Miss Anne Hathaway has also been cast in the new Christopher Nolan film. So now we've got Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Anne Hathaway. And also, I thought I saw that Lupita and Gal. I don't think I wrote that down. Yeah, I didn't write that one down. She's in this too. They just announced that she was cast in that as also. I just remembered that. So you got another Lupita and Gal. She was in the Black Panther movie. You got another great one there. So again, no one knows how to cast, and I hope that he's not aping the film that Michael B. Jordan is doing about the 20th century vampires, which is what Nolan is kind of, the rumor is. I hope that's not true. I hope it's something completely different, because Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler deserve their moment on the sun, and Nolan making a similar film would just be, it would be dumb to sort of ape the same thing. So we'll see how that turns out. It was D23, but in South America. And so to announce a few things as well, Disney Plus released the new Captain America Brave New World trailer. I'm really starting to hate to see all these people who are claiming that they were getting reviews from a sneak preview or whatever, and they say that it's an awful movie. You're just haters. You were trying to destroy Agatha all along, and then it turned out to be a good film. I'm still going to see Captain America Brave New World, and after seeing what I saw in this trailer, it looks fucking awesome. And we haven't even seen everything yet, because the leader's in this, and we're going to see how does Harrison Ford become Red Hulk, and how is Giancarlo Esposito going to play as Copperhead, and are we going to get a Diamondback, and how are we going to get a... I am excited. I want to see this movie. It's on Valentine's Day. I'm going to ask for that day off to just see that, and then I guess do something for my Valentine, I guess. But I really, really want to see it, and I hate seeing these haters like, oh, it says it's gonna suck, and it just makes me angry, because I don't know at the time if they just are saying that because it's a black Captain America and they're being racist piece of shits, or they just hate Marvel in general or Disney. So I don't know, but and they just, because they thought that all along was going to be a waste. It turns out that it wasn't. They've got to find something else to complain about. And plus, these early previews is not for consumption. It's a testing mechanism to see what needs to be done. They say it was terrible, but what they could do is that, what was terrible about it? Why don't you let us know? So if they say, okay, you need to tighten this, I don't like this, and this, they can let that, okay, let's excise some stuff here, let's reshoot this one thing here, and let's add that thing in there. Plus, what they're just this one person's opinion. You don't know what's going on, but I this new trailer really got me excited for it, and I really can't wait to see it. And fuck them guys. Now, Captain America Brave New World is a big deal, and I want to see it, but I really, really want to see Thunderbolts badly. That's the one I really, really want to see. And we also got a new trailer for that. Love me some Florence Pugh, and we got some good work with all the other actors in it as well. Barely anything with Ghost and Taskmaster. They're sort of keeping them in the background. We're getting more of Bucky. We're getting more of Florence Pugh's Yelena. We're getting David Harbour's Red Guardian. We're getting more of Russell's Walker, John Walker. We even get a little bit more Julia Louis-Dreyfus as well. And just a little bit of Campbell's character for Sentry. So we're not getting everything yet, but we got a good new trailer for it. It starts off with an extended chase sequence, which actually looks really, really cool. It's a mix of humor and action and some cool stuff. And you can see Florence Pugh kicking ass and taking names, which is awesome. And exciting to see all the stuff that's upcoming. So I can't wait to see what's going on with that. I'm excited for that one as well. That one's in May. I'm going to take that day off, probably also check that out too. Also at this D23, we finally have a definitive when Andor season 2 is set to debut. I watched the first 3 episodes of Andor and just never caught back up on it. I think I want to try to catch up on it again because I've heard it's one of the best Star Wars shows out there, though it's very different and unique. So I want to see. I should get caught up before season 2 rolls out. And I have some time. Season 2 is set to debut on April 22nd, 2025. So we got another one. Another show debuting in 2025 is going to be Extreme streaming in 2025. Maybe they're telling us that maybe something bad is going to happen to this country, that they need to have all these streamers in place, shows in place to keep people's minds occupied with that and not what's actually happening in the fucking country that's going to destroy us all. But I digress. Actually, I think I'll make that the last story. A VR game. I think I talked about this last week, but I'm not sure. A VR game debuted this way where you are trapped in the Titanic. So you've got your VR goggles on, and you got to find a way to escape the sinking Titanic. I think that's awesome. That's last. So I'll do last. I have, on a personal note, I have started to see Christmas lights up, starting to pop up in my neighborhood. There's a house that direction over there has got one, and then there's up on Main Street, there's a house that's like fully decked out, and I've started to see a little bit more of that rolling out there. So it's okay, whatever, that's fine. So I talked about Krispy Kreme's Grinch donuts. Well, they also now have Thanksgiving pie-filled donuts for them, set to go or on sale from now through Thanksgiving. So chocolate silk pie, the lemon cream pie, the blueberry crisp, and the apple crumble donuts, all that have gooey stuff on the inside to enjoy, and pie stuff. So if you like your different pies, there you go. No Joker TV show. There was rumors that after the success of the Penguin TV show, that Barry Keoghan's Joker from the Robert Pattinson series was going to get his own. And I cringed at that thought because Joker is so overdone, overrated. I don't want to see another fucking Joker thing ever again. And thank you, James Gunn. James Gunn comes out and says, there's no fucking Joker TV show. Everybody's like saying, there's going to be a Joker TV show with Barry Keoghan. And James Gunn's like, no, there fucking isn't. So shut the fuck up. He didn't say it that way. That's how I would say it. That's why I have the name of the episode is No Country for Joker TV show. Because No Country for Old Men is also an anniversary of 17 years this week. So I had to tie those two together. So that and No Joker TV show, thank God, is coming out. So sigh of relief there. And Saudi Arabia has saw its first snowfall ever in history. Last week, I was talking about how Mount Fuji, for the first time ever in history, did not have snow at the top of the mountain in October. And now we have snowfall in Saudi Arabia the first time ever. Ever. It has never snowed in the Saudi Arabian desert until this week. I wonder if some sort of change going on with the climate. Oh, well, we're not going to know for the next 4 years. They're not going to give a fuck. So we could all die due to the environment and climate change, but they don't give a fuck. I digress. The 2024 Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is now in New York City. So now they got to put it up in Rockefeller Center, and then they got to decorate it in time for Thanksgiving. So they got a few weeks to do it, but it is in town. It was delivered today, actually, I believe. So there it is. So before I get to my last story, which is a doozy of a personal story, we have another big death and a couple anniversaries. I already did the No Country for Old Men 17 years ago this week. Skyfall, some say the best Daniel Craig James Bond movie, debuted 12 years ago this week. And Grimm, the TV show, debuted 13 years ago this week. Death, I got to figure out, this is the one guy I got to figure out what he did. I mean, I know what he did, but I mean, I want to tell everybody, just how big of a deal this guy was. Horror icon Tony Todd passed away at the age of 69, most famous for his Candyman, and also was in Final Destination. Um, he also did a bunch of TV and stuff like that, but he was a huge horror guy and did a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So I'm going to give you all of his because he did a ton of stuff. Died of cancer at age 69. Film, he was in Platoon, Colors, Bird, Lean on Me, Night of the Living Dead, the 1990s version, Candyman, The Crow. He was in The Crow. I forgot he was Grange. That's right. He was in The Crow. And all the other Candyman movies that there were. He was in The Rock. He was in Wishmaster. Final Destination, I said. First three, I think. He was in Hatchet. He was Reverend Zombie in Hatchet. Okay. Anything else that you might recognize? He was in the 24 Redemption TV movie. He was the voice of the Fallen in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah. All the Final Destinations, all the Hatchets. He voiced Darkseid in the Lego DC Comics Superheroes Justice League vs. Bizarro League. And did it again in the sequel to that. See if there's any other ones that you would recognize. We're in 2018. He did a ton of stuff. He was the voice of Darkseid in the Reign of the Superman cartoons. So he really played them. And an Apocalypse War also. Jesus, he was all over the place when it came to that. He was in Sky Sharks. Yeah. Nice. He was in the remake of the Candyman. I forgot about that. He was. That came out in 2021. I forgot about that. And he is in Final Destination Bloodlines, the new Final Destination movie that is a posthumous release, will be out next year. Television, he did your typical stuff. Did an episode of Simon & Simon, 21 Jump Street, was in Night Court, MacGyver, Matlock, Cop Rock. He had he played the character of Kern for seasons 3 through 5 of Star Trek Next Generation, so he's a recurring character, a little bit like that. He had an episode of The X-Files he was in. He was an episode of a recurring cast on Homicide: Life on the Street. I forgot about that, season 3, which is one of the best ones. He was in Hercules, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He was adult Jake Sisko for 2 episodes. Murder, She Wrote, Beverly Hills 90210, NYPD Blue, Star Trek Voyager, Hercules again, Angel, he was an Angel, Smallville, Crossing Jordan, Charmed, Boston Public, The District, he was in 2 episodes. He was in an episode of 24, I guess reprised the role for the movie. It's a recurring cast in season 9 of Stargate SG-1. Yeah, he's recurring cast 24 in season 7. In Psych, Hawaii Five-0, The Event, Transformers Prime, Young Justice. He was the voice of Icon, Young and the Restless. He was in that. He played Zoom in the Flash TV show for 16 episodes. Was in Riverdale, Scream Resurrection. Voice of Scareglow and Master Universe Revelation. So yeah, so he did a lot. So he was a big genre guy, big horror icon, and he will be missed. Finally, the last story of this very short episode, almost pushed to about almost an hour, so that's pretty cool. Today I went to Arby's. It's been a while since I've been at Arby's. And when I go to Arby's, I usually get the French dip, which is really, really good. They have a good French dip there. And they used to have the chicken cordon bleu sandwich. They don't have that anymore. That's one that they bring back periodically. I wish they used to be on the regular menu for a while there, but isn't anymore. So that was one I would always get. And now they don't have that anymore. I get the French dip. So I go up there today because I hadn't been there for a while. So I figure I get the French dip again. But I get up there and I look on the menu and I see, just for November, deep fried turkey sandwiches. And I'm like, There's 2 of them. There's the Gobbler and there's the deep fried turkey club. I didn't like what was on the gobbler. They had some of those like bloomin' onions or onion rings and stuff on. It's like, no, I don't want that. I'll go with why not try the deep fried turkey club. Now, the deep fried turkey, it was deep fried, but when you sliced it, it was just fried on the rims, and the inside was just regular turkey. Put that on a bed of bacon, lettuce, and tomato with mayo on a nice hamburger roll, whatever. Oh my God. So good. So if you like turkey and you want a pre-game for Thanksgiving, I recommend going to Arby's and getting the deep fried turkey club. I need to get up there again in November so I can do it again before they remove it from the menu, because it probably will disappear after Thanksgiving. So I got to go up there again and get it because that's so good. That is the end of my show. Thank you for watching. If you want to see me lose my shit a little bit, I try to be calm. If you want to see me lose my shit about what happened for the rest of this week, you can catch my other episode, my other show, Conversation with Myself. I do go a little off the rails, and I'm a little psyched out a little bit. But as I said, I'm not going to. We're in for a hellacious 4 years. We're going to be in hell, apocalyptic bullshit, fascism, Nazism, World War III bullshit. But as long as I can, I'm going to keep trying to be upbeat and just keep this show as this pop culture sort of stuff that I'm doing. And if I have anything I want to talk about politically, I will probably push that to my Conversation with Myself story, which may turn into a political Conversations with Myself, but we'll find out. I still use that for other things as well. But for now, that's it. I'm trying to push this to an hour, but I don't think I can chit chat for 3 more minutes. So at this point, I'm just going to say, okay, that's what's going to go on next week. As I said, we will be focusing on, not be focusing on, but my wife and daughter will not be home, but my son will be. So I'll probably be doing it at 11 o'clock, which I'm just about ready to hit 11 o'clock here. But so I want to get this done early so I can go to bed early. So we will talk, see what happens this week. Maybe more stuff will be happening this week about this political bullshit. Maybe we can hit some of this other interesting stuff going on. But as I said, nothing really major. My kitty Pepper's 1 year birthday is coming up on Wednesday, and Veterans Day is on Monday, and that's it really. So I think that's it. So no football for me since the Ravens played on Thursday. So I got stuff I need to do. I promised my daughter I'd take her out driving. I also want to get my Halloween decorations brought in and put my Thanksgiving stuff out and play some Fortnite. And I already got stuff for dinner. I already got gas. I really can't think of anything else I need to get tomorrow. So it'll just be a nice sort of relaxing day. I want to watch maybe the Commanders play the Steelers, so we'll see. But I'm done with that. So tomorrow is also Germany football between the Giants and the Panthers. Ugh, what a shitty game that's going to be. Sorry about that, Germany, but we're giving you a shitty football game. That's at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. So if you're a huge football fan and want to watch 2 shitty teams play in Germany, hey, get up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. I guess it'd be 9, 8, 7. It'd be 6:30 in the morning out in California for the game to start. And then watch that game, and then your 1 o'clock games, your 4 o'clock game, 8 o'clock. So again, you can have football, because we're in California, from 6:30 a.m. to roughly about 8 p.m., which is a 3-hour difference. 9 p.m., I should say. So if you're into that, that's good. Couple good games coming up, but that Commander-Steelers game is a big one for me. And can I kill 50 more seconds? I'm going to try to. So I think that's all I got about that. As far as I can tell, there's not much else going on. We'll see if I will be doing my show handwritten again at work, or if I can wait to do it on my notebook next week. We'll find out for sure. All right, I can't say my notes. Only 30 seconds. No one's watching this anyway. They're getting all ready to leave. Let's try. Let's just try. We got 20 seconds to go. Anything else? Oh, you like there's my pumpkin head from my Halloween costume, which I didn't win, obviously, but there it is. That's where it will stay probably for a while. And I have removed Mike Myers' head. All right, it's close enough. It's get close to a minute, an hour. So here we go. Bye.